friends, it's Michelle Green with Morristown TV today. Now, we all know about Head Starts in our community, or do we? I know I've heard about Head Start my whole life, and if you live here in Hamlin County, I'm sure you have as well. But if you're like me and you don't really know all the specifics, we are here with the lovely Miss Jennifer Antrican. She is with Head Start, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you and tell you what you need to do if you have a little person, and correct me if I'm wrong, between 0 and school age, that you would like to get started into Head Start. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today. Now, this time of year, let me ask you this right off the bat. Does Head Start correspond with a regular school year, or is this something different?
It follows the school system closely, but not exactly.
Okay, so it's not exactly governed under the school board.
We're not governed by the state. We're federally funded.
Okay.
Our calendar year is similar to the school system, but not exactly the same.
Okay, well that makes sense, and again, seriously, I've often wondered that. I just assumed it's school; it's all tied in together. Well, now let's go ahead and talk about Head Start, the specifics. Let's pretend like I have a little person, and thank heavens I don't have a little person at home. They're all grown up and gone. But anyway, so let's pretend like I have a little person, and I want to get him or her involved in Head Start. So let's talk about some criteria, what I need to do, and so on.
Our program is based on income, so we would have to see proof of income, the child's birth certificate to verify date of birth, to do an application, and you can call us to do an application over the phone, or you can go on our website at www.dceaheadstart.org, all lowercase.
You say that on quite often. I could tell by the way you just let it roll out. You probably dream about your website. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is this only for residents in Hamlin County for this specific Head Start, or are there branches out in other counties?
We serve the 8 counties around Knoxville, including Hamlin, Granger, Jefferson, Cott, Monroe, Sevier, Blount, and Union.
Oh, okay. So, wow, all right.
And in Hamlin County, we have Early Head Start that serves the birth to 3, where the rest of the 7 counties we serve do not have that at this time.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, I understand the birth to 3. So if there's a 2-year, when I think of Head Start, again, I think about like a kickoff to kindergarten,
right?
Where they sit and they have little fat pencils and tablets. I'm old school, you can tell, but I mean, even for the little itty bitty people, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, is it more like a daycare for that age, or how does that run?
We're more than a daycare because we do encourage parent involvement.
Okay.
Which looks a little bit different this year because of the pandemic. It may be more virtual online as far as maybe getting to volunteer in the classroom. We do have that option in our classrooms to be a virtual learner. We will have like 10 children per classroom. The other half, which is about 7 children, would be what we call virtual learners.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask what kind of class size are you allowed to have?
Yeah, we have 17 in our preschool classrooms. At Early, they have 8 per classroom, and it's more we're socialization. We do a lot of socialization, interacting with the children. The preschool side does the school readiness type things. The birth to 3 side does more the interactions, the adults.
But it still has an educational basis to it. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. How many, I know you talked about all the counties that it's spread out in, which blows my mind. I had no clue. See, this is a learning experience for me too. But how many actual Head Start facilities do you have in Hamlin County?
We have 12 Head Start classrooms and 9 Early classrooms. Early Head Start has 72 children. We have around, I think, 200 in our preschool side. We have 6 Early Head Start rooms and 6 Head Start preschool rooms at Brown Avenue alone. The rest are spread out in the county.
I had no clue that your guys, boy, our English teachers in school would be so proud of me right now. I had no idea that your all's facilities were that massive, or that that it was spread out that far in Hamlin County. Well, that's fantastic. Well, I know we talked about the criteria as far as the finance part of it, but is there anything else, any other guidelines that the parents have to go by to get the kids in?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
They need to apply, and they can do that online or call us to get that done, and then we'll go from there. And if we have any openings in classroom or virtually, we would be in touch with you.
Okay, so even though maybe the classroom size is maxed out, there's always that virtual. Because I'm glad you brought that up, because I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, because I know how things are with the regular school system.
Right.
A lot of them are doing that way. Well, what about, like, for kids who actually do come into the class, what about, like, shots? Do they have to have updates on their shots, just
Yes.
like you do in kindergarten and
That's a
such?
good
So-
question. Yes, we are required to have up-to-date immunizations and a current physical exam, one that is less than a year old, the day you step foot in our building for services.
Oh, okay. All right, good. I'm glad I asked that, too.
Yes,
So,
and the same for the babies as well.
all right. Well, let me ask you this. I know we briefly talked about this earlier, but you guys, I don't know if service is the word, but I mean, you guys have a large Hispanic community that utilize Head Start, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we do have bilingual staff
Okay, great.
that could help you with doing an application, or if we actually enroll your child, to get the paperwork done for them to begin attending.
Okay.
We do have bilingual staff that go in and out of the classrooms to help the teachers and the children as appropriate.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you one more thing, and then I want to get back to the bilingual aspect of it. Is there a certain deadline that you need to get the kids signed up before this year takes off?
We can do an application at any time, but ideally, anytime between now and August 24th would be wonderful.
Okay. But if you can't make that deadline, it's okay. All right.
To call even after the 24th of August.
Well, is there anything else that you think that our friends need to know about as far as the Head Start? Because there is something else I want to talk to you about as far as the bilingual.
Okay. We do also do complete screenings on all children enrolled: hearing, speech, language, vision, hearing, the whole gamut. That sets us apart from other daycares and preschools, in addition to the parent involvement piece.
Well, on a semi-quasi-personal note on that, I know my daughter, when she was little, her cousin went to Head Start. And, you know, she was slow to speak. But, you know, some kids, they develop differently. When she went to Head Start, you guys had done a hearing test and found out she couldn't hear. So kudos,
cool.
even back then, to you guys for doing that. Well, you know, I referenced earlier our English teacher. So obviously, Jennifer and I went to school together.
Yes.
I took Spanish in school. I don't know if you did or not.
No, I didn't.
But since it's been a really long time since I took Spanish, and I could carry on a conversation if you talked really slow to me, I think it's a good idea if we get somebody in your organization that actually is bilingual to come to come and give a little spiel to our Hispanic friends and family about. Are you good with that?
Yes.
So all right, well, good deal. Well, and it just so happens she has a coworker here with her, so we're going to let Claudia take over in a few minutes, and she's going to go over this whole thing in Spanish. There you go. So anyway. Hey friends, we are back with a lovely young lady from Head Start. This is Miss Claudia Garcia. And as Jennifer and I were talking about earlier in regard to Head Start, they also offer a bilingual aspect, which again, if you saw the segment with Jennifer and with me, neither one of us are bilingual. So that's why we have Miss Claudia here to share all this information about Head Start with our Hispanic friends and family. So, Miss Claudia, if you can summarize about Head Start, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, mi nombre es Claudia García, soy la representante de servicios para familias del programa de Head Start. Tenemos gente bilingüe que está dispuesto a ayudarles. El número de teléfono es el 423-581-2350. Estamos tomando aplicaciones desde 6 semanas de nacidos hasta la edad de 3-4 años. Para hacer esto necesitan llamarnos por teléfono. Toda la aplicación se hace a base de línea telefónica. Ustedes nada más necesitan contestar las preguntas. Una vez que la aplicación está terminada, ustedes básicamente tienen que venir a la oficina y firmar esta aplicación. Para que su niño pueda ser elegible, o una vez que les digamos que es elegible, ustedes necesitan 2 comprobantes para que el niño pueda iniciar las clases, que viene siendo las vacunas y un físico. Necesitamos esas 2 cosas para que su niño pueda iniciar en clase. Estamos dando 2 opciones. Las 2 opciones es en clase o virtual. ¿ok? Tenemos un intérprete, ella se llama Stephanie Ortiz, tenemos otro intérprete que se llama Alejandra, así es que hay suficiente ayuda en español y estamos ahí dispuestos a ayudar en todo lo necesario. Son 5 representantes, así es que cualquier cosa, ya lo saben, pueden buscarnos en nuestras redes sociales de Facebook como Claudia García y mi número una vez más, el 581-2350. Gracias.
Well, all I can say to that is wow. Well, thank you. What she said. So, thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you
We
so much.
appreciate you coming in, and you and Jennifer both, and sharing with, like I said, our friends and family out here what Head Start is all about and what they can do to get their kids involved. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to you, thank you always for staying tuned to Channel 7 Marshtown TV today. You know, like I always say, you're going to find out about amazing programs right here in our community when you tune in to Channel 7. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.